And that is brushstroke number 1. Let's see if I can recreate this masterwork in only 30 brushstrokes. It's been a while since I've done this, but I've been training in the hyperbolic time chamber. We can't just let ourselves think that that's a flat pink shape. It's a form. It has a front and a top and a bottom. It's more like a pill. Try to put our neck on here. I use these big brushes so that I can focus on the biggest shapes possible and not get stuck in the details, which is most important at this stage. The only way to pull this off, and to pull off any painting really, is to think simply and to remember the biggest concepts possible. Thinking about the grandest concepts that we can doesn't mean focusing on little things like the features. We have to forget about our preconceived ideas and instead construct the face from the base up as if we were creating this from clay. So here is number 6. At this point, it's really difficult to even know where to go next. I think this eye socket is one of the bigger structures that we want to make it feel like it's carving into the face. So we'll push it in a little bit. Even a small wobble here could cost me 1 or even 2 more brush strokes that are going to be precious. And I've been lucky enough to be able to recreate the exact same type of training that Sargent, the painter of this portrait, and pretty much every great painter in the 19th century went through. And what I've learned from that is that it's not even about knowing everything. You can spend your whole life in acquisition of theory and knowledge, and that's really important, but part of what being an artist is using that knowledge not to make things so complicated you're paralyzed, but to understand and simplify things so that you can make your life easier and you can do more with your art. I'm not trying to return tradition or whatever that means. I'm trying to use the training of the past to empower artists to create their own worlds, however big or small that might be, because those are the same values that even the academics of the past held, believe it or not. Just a few key shadows with the right contrast here is all I'll have to sell the illusion of this ear. I don't have enough brushstroke budget for that. I guess this is as good of a time as ever to get those final details in. For 30, we're going to have to get that iconic point to the nose. It's so important. Oh man, we're so close here, but this is truly the impossible challenge. There's always a little bit more that I can squeeze out in 30 brushstrokes, but I could take this to a further finish if I wanted to. I mean, I guess, why don't I? Let me give it a few more. All right, and that's only like 10 or 15 more minutes. Really, we had such a strong base to work on that we could make a lot of progress really quickly. And I just want to remind you all that it's important to understand theory, but it's also just as important to think about that stuff too, and actually apply it in your own way. That's what personal style is. That's what your artistic voice is. And remember to just simplify down, don't be afraid to fail, and practice.